Today we're going to work on the GE FO41. The cage nut keeps coming loose. The blade is very reflective. Must be in a good condition, hasn't been cleaned with anything abrasive. I had to pull the tube, the thermal fuse out, pull it out of the holder, so it looked like this, attached to there. And I had to use a screwdriver and pry on the handle, but it felt like I was going to snap the handle. So I had to get out this big boy, grip onto the screwdriver, I had to pry it like that, counterclockwise, and then it finally snap loosened the screw, which is now ruined. But I definitely have an equivalent in my box of screws. I found this screw. It fits perfectly, although it is a little too long and it is touching the wiring wrapping, but it is just touching, it's not pressing into. I can design a 3D printed replacement for this. This is just a generic ass cable loop securing holder thingy, so I have no issues replacing it with something custom 3D printed. I've reinstalled the oil wick for the front inner oil reservoir, and I'm soaking it with Zippo lighter fluid to dissolve any of the old oil that is still remaining inside the bushing or inside the oil reservoirs. So I will be proceeding with shaft cleaning. I haven't wiped off the old oil that's still remaining. I've been focusing on the bearings, well, they are sleeve bearings, so clean off all the grease on the worm gear, clean off the old oil at both ends of the shaft where it sits on the bushings. I'll use an isopropyl alcohol wipe, wrap it around, and apply more alcohol. Thoroughly dissolve and wipe it. One thing I am wary about is the rear bushing is rather close to the grease in the gearbox, and I don't want the grease to get into the bushing, otherwise it will clog up, so I've got to clean out that little hole behind the bushing. Both oil reservoirs are dry, and now I can commence putting lubricating oil in it. Putting the lubricating oil, we're using 3-in-1 blue bottle for electric motors. Don't use the black bottle 3-in-1 multi-purpose oil. Use the blue bottle. I think put more than 10. And you notice that I put the oil on the top so gravity can pull it down onto the bushing and into the bottom of the reservoir when it gets warm. We're going to do the same thing with the rear. Put the oil on the top. Not counting the drops this time, just seeing it drench. That should definitely be enough. Next I'll put oil on the shaft itself and reassemble the motor. I'll be lubricating the rear shaft in a different way. I will apply oil into the little gap there, and then sliding the rear half of the motor up and down, evenly distribute the oil. And of course I've already lubricated the inner oil wick This is just the oil directly on the shaft itself. The oil should be running down. Now apply a bit more oil. Fill up that cavity all the way around, 360 degrees. Now make it run down surface of the shaft. I've wired everything up. And now we just need to go through the 3 speeds with my multimeter to see if the resistances check out. With the multimeter connected to the live and neutral. Speed 1. Speed 2. Speed 3. 2. 1. 0. Winding resistance test checks out. Now let's do the insulation resistance test. First we connect red to live and black to earth. Red to live and black to earth. Speed 1. 2. 3. 0. Pass. Now red to neutral. Red to neutral and black to earth. Speed 1. 2. 3. All good. Let's plug it into the mains and test. Now plugged into the mains. Let's go for speed 1, 2, and 3. Awesome. Now it's time for the very first test run after reassembling it. Speed 1. Speed 1 is nice and gentle. Can't recall if my FO40 has such a gentle speed 1. Haven't ran it in too long and forgot. Speed 2. Significant step up. Speed 3. Seems like there's more of a gap between speed 1 and 2 than 2 and 3. Spin down. Seller which I got it from said that speed 1 was super slow, and now that's not the case anymore. Only thing left to do is to clean up that messy wiring. Oh, the spin now is good. Kind of reminds me of my National F40 AAD. That thing had a good long spin down, about a minute long. From high speed, let's go straight to full. Very good. Compared to previously, that thing was stiff. I think the spin down is better than my other Sanyo.